Hello everyone and welcome to Spaced Out. I'm your host Sarah Begum and today I have my youngest lunar explorer. His name is ARAV and he developed an innovative way to explore the lunar surface through his telescope and smartphone. Hi ARAV, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on here. Can you please tell me more about yourself?
Hi Sarah, I'm 8 years old. My name is ARAV. I study at primary school Penby Year 2.
I heard that you won the Gold Award at SciNext 2020 Science Innovation Competition for your smartphone photography, which is the UV infrared telescope lens innovation. Can you please tell me what inspired you to develop this?
My mommy inspired me to look at space many years ago, and Uncle James, who is our neighbor, gave me my first telescope when I was 5 years old. And later, Papa taught me how to use the bigger equipment.
What did you first think when you started using the telescope?
Now we can see the moon's surface.
Would you like to go there one day?
Yes, I would.
What are you expecting to find there?
No, we are going there to find a better home and also about taking my family and my friends to space to find a good home. Because all the structures there can protect us from dust and asteroids.
You were part of the NASA Space App participation and you were recognized by NASA as well for your efforts. So tell me about what you had to do for this.
I had to post all our lunar surface exploration and post our story and our videos and our photos. We captured videos of the light contacting the moon and the large crater with a landscape around it.
You won a prize for your short story called The Space Drone. I'd love to know what this story is about.
I wrote a story about space drone. I had also included close-up images of space.
What was the story about?
We would like to build a drone that could take pictures and take us to space so we can live there.
Amazing. And why do you want to live there?
Because there is no coronavirus and it's more protective from asteroids and dust.
And the International IPC selected you as their main speaker and to present the lunar surface and lens innovation technology to support growth and development of a sustainable society on the moon. Can you please tell me, ARAV, what was your experience like? And why do you think this subject is so important?
I was afraid as it was my first time to speak at the International IPC Moon Village and Cyprus Space Exploration event. I was learning to speak about my experience in space photography and lunar surface exploration. I speak about the reality of the moon surface, and I feel it is important because all the books and magazines and TV don't show the real moon surface because it's only for learning. I am the youngest one to explore the moon surface and close up and share the real experience using UV infrared smartphone, iPad and telescope to spur innovation with other kids at my age.
And why do you think working in the space industry is important for humanity on Earth?
This is very important because every time we look at space and the moon, we see new stuff from Earth. Now we can explore the moon very clearly using smartphone, iPad, light technology to share the real experience, which is very important for all humans. We need to know what's in space and the lunar surface before we make the next leap.
And what do you like doing in your spare time?
I like riding my electric scooter, Segway G15. I hope one day I can fly with it. Maybe one day I will try to create one that will fly.
Will you take me with you? So what's your dream place to visit on Earth and why?
I want to go to Switzerland because there is lots of snow there. Mommy and Papa promised to take me there end of the year if there is no more coronavirus.
I would advise not to book in advance, just in case. what are your goals for the future, Arav?
My goals, well, I want to be a pilot or space scientist. I also want to explore the surface of planet Mars and capture more photographs. It will require time and bigger equipment to get to the surface of planet Mars.
We're eventually going to Mars. We have some of the Mars missions next month. Are you excited about that?
Yes, I am.
Which of the missions will you be following closely?
The NASA one?
The last one. Okay, awesome. It's really beautiful to see all these photographs behind you of the moon. It's so impressive. I'd love to know, how did you print them?
Well, we use the static photo. We also pick, my papa and me will choose the best one and send them for printing using high quality static photo paper printer.
As a young boy, I would love to know what you think about how women play a part in space exploration and lunar photography.
My mommy is so interested in space exploration and lunar photography, but there is no support for women like my mom. Because people from the media and space generation, they always promise to help, but they never show up.
Oh, that's really sad. Hopefully that will change. I'm thinking about buying a telescope, and I'd love to know what advice would you give me if I wanted to do what you're doing and explore space through the lens.
Smartphones and iPads and UV infrared light frequency with telescopes, it can penetrate the clouds and dust in space. We can reach the lunar surface easily. This combination can detect many movements in space. You must focus on important targets and the hands must move quickly with the equipment.
Okay, but what for my very first telescope? Which one do you think I should get? What telescope are you using for your photographs?
Now we are using the big one, the Microsoft big one.
Maxitov, okay. Well, obviously I don't know much about telescopes, so Maxitov, awesome. And how can other children get involved in space activities like you? And where should they look for support?
Kids or we cannot go simply into it. Moms and dads have to get involved because many of the space events require an adult to sign in and register for the real space activities. I started to share all my space and lunar photos and videos all over the world with many people and also with space agencies and space companies. The support came from mom and dad and many space agencies.
And if you ever had the chance to, in the future, where in space do you want to go and why?
I would say the moon is my first choice because it's very near to Earth. It's just about 300 to 400,000 kilometers away, and there are many hidden structures suitable for humans to stay. The existing architecture on the moon could protect humans from asteroids impact and dust storms and other dangers. Many of my videos shows water streaming, sunlight is glowing, objects are falling and moving. I have seen faint colors: green, red, gold, yellow, white and blue. Mars will be my second choice. I would like to capture photos of Mars surface soon.
And why space and the lunar surface exploration? Why not astronomy?
Astronomy only shows the shape of planets and movements, stars and flying rocks. In our lunar surface exploration photography, we see the surface of the landscape and movements. The international space companies have come in to help me in the surface exploration project. NASA Research Department and Indian Space Research Office have provided advice to me for the optical equipment and ways to improve it.
What about in your country? Do they help promote kids go to space?
They don't promote kids to go to space. Kids are not allowed to go to space. The whole of Asia is the same. They will talk about going to space, but it's not real space programs for kids.
The Ministry of Education in Malaysia contacted you about some of the lunar surface exploration photographs that you captured. How did they react?
Yes, the education department contacted us last year. They told us there are no topics in preschool to upper secondary school that touch on the shape of the moon's surface. The education department knows about my space lunar photography skills.
How does that make you feel?
Well, yeah, it makes me feel happy and excited
Why?
because we get to share all our photos and videos with other kids and other people.
And what do you want other kids to learn from your photographs and videos?
Well, I want them to come and learn with us, come and team up with us so they can look at the moon too.
And why is it important for children to look at the moon together?
Because every time we look at space, we always see new stuff.
What's the latest thing you discovered through your lens?
We discovered this. This is the creator with a landscape.
Oh wow.
The one, the water flowing.
Yeah, that one.
Oh wow. You found water on the moon?
We didn't see whether it was water, but there was like
Or some kind of gas. That's so interesting. Wow. Okay, so when you shared your lunar surface discoveries with the International Astronomical Union, what did they tell you?
Yes, I did. My papa helped me send all our sun and moon discoveries to the International Astronomy Union. They told us they do not endorse kids like me. I was sad that they do not support kids to explore the real space.
So are you going to change that? Is that what your hopes are? Yeah?
That's what I-
Good. And how are you going to change that?
Well, we'll just keep trying and trying so all the kids and people can look at space with us.
Does anybody else provide any equipment support in Asia for kids in space exploration? And what have NASA said to you?
So far, I did not get any support in Asia, in Malaysia. They don't provide equipment support for space exploration for kids at my age. NASA advised me to find further schooling opportunities overseas if there is no support in my home country.
Have you faced any struggles in the field of lunar surface photography in your region?
Yes, it was a good struggle. I was only allowed to appear in Tamil newspapers and TV Tamil news in Malaysia. International space companies began to feature my lunar surface photography overseas, which I have grown to love.
So how do you think the lunar surface photography will benefit kids and education?
The moon surface is not yet published and many people don't know what the lunar surface looks like. I would like to share my special moon surface exploration photos and videos with all the viewers and subscribers globally. This will benefit education and space exploration for kids at my age and for all who want to experience the real lunar surface.
Can you tell me what your favorite discovery was through the lens?
Yeah, my favorite discovery was the video where the light contacted with the moon that is almost similar to the Portugal that happened 100 years ago.
I saw that and I thought it was brilliant. When I saw that, I was blown away. It made me think about the possibilities out there in space. Do you maybe have some ideas or explanations what this could be?
My asteroid, maybe something, rock that came down from the moon, or something crashing into the Earth.
And what other discoveries have you made that have really stood out to you, the lunar surface?
It was the big crater that had a landscape around it, like the tube which looked like water was going through it.
The tube that looked like water. I'd love to know if you discovered water on the moon. Now that would be interesting, wouldn't it? That's what we all want to know. Okay, and what can you teach me about the moon from all of your photographs and discoveries so far? So imagine I was someone who didn't know anything about space or the moon. Okay, I've never done lunar surface photography before, and you're the expert.
Alright.
The book shows the lunar surface is empty because it's only for learning. But our lunar surface exploration, it's real. There are lots of structures and shapes.
What kind of structures and shapes have you found?
Like we saw triangles, rectangles.
Who do you think created it, or what do you think created it? Those shapes and structures.
I think when the asteroids hit it, then it makes craters. That's what I think.
So the impact from asteroids. Okay, that's interesting. And what about other planets? What do you think about Jupiter or Venus or Pluto or Neptune?
I don't think asteroids can survive in Jupiter because all the gases will just, keep pushing and pushing. The asteroid, I think it won't make it.
What do you think about the sun? Because you also took photography of the sun.
We saw one big black dot there. It was staying there for about 2 days.
Do you know what that big black dot could be?
It could be something that is flying through the sun.
Do you think maybe a planet or an asteroid or...
It cannot be Mars because Mars is not that near to the sun. It can't be any planet.
So what do you think it could be if it's not one of the planets from our solar system?
I mean, Pluto is just a rock, so it could be Pluto.
It could be Pluto. That's interesting. I'd like to know if it could be Pluto. If you could go to space, and you can only go alone, and you can only take 3 things with you, what 3 things would you take? Obviously, except for your astronaut kit and oxygen. What are the 3 survival tools you'd take to survive the moon?
Well, of course, we'll need food, and then I'll bring my telescope with me and some pictures.
Okay, and where would you put them in zero gravity?
We can hang them somewhere.
But remember, you only have your telescope, the photos, and what's the other thing you decided to take with you? Food. So how would you hang the pictures, and where would you hang them?
Or we could use a big case so they don't get lost.
But you'd have to make it with materials from the moon. Do you know what materials they have on the moon?
I don't know whether there are any kinds of fabrics on it.
But do you know that on the moon, it's more breathable beneath the moon's surface? So in the future, if you were to live on the moon, penthouses would be inside the moon rather than on top of it. So if you were to build a house on the moon, what would it look like?
It could look like a normal house, a square and a triangle on top, or just look like this, or just a square or a triangle. Those are my choices. Or I can make it look like a moon.
Sorry?
Like a globe. I could make it look like a globe.
What do you think about our planet?
Well, I'm just not happy that there is coronavirus now.
Are you in lockdown in Malaysia right now?
Yes.
And what have you been doing during your time in lockdown?
Usually I'll look at space with my papa sometimes. Sometimes I have to do homework.
And what do the other children at your school think about your photography in space?
Kavish is my friend and he's definitely interested.
What did he say about your work?
He said he wants to go live on TV with me and he wants to build a spaceship with me and go to space. That's what he said.
I love that. And if you had to build a spaceship, what would it look like?
It could look like a normal rocket or UFO.
Are you?
Those are my two. Like,
What do you think about UFOs?
I could build a UFO, but I want to build a rocket ship that looks like a UFO.
I want to do that too. Sometimes, when I was a kid, when I was your age, or maybe younger, maybe even older, I can't remember, but I used to pretend I was in a spaceship and just play space games, you know? And I've always wanted to build a car that looks like a spaceship. I just think it would be so cool. Wow, what is that?
It's a space rocket. My papa helped me to do it with a bit of stuff.
Wow, what did you use to create that? What's it for?
This was when Uncle James and our neighbor, we used the tube to make the body of it, and we bought two cones. Well, I used the red one, and this one we used cardboard for it, and we spray painted the whole thing.
And what do you do with it?
Well, we are waiting for the time that we can, when the lockdown finishes, we want to launch it.
Where are you going to launch it?
Oh, I really don't know.
You really don't know. That's fine. That's fine. And how high do you think it's gonna go?
Well, maybe at least to the sky. We are going to put my camera on it so we can look at it while it's flying.
Oh, that's amazing. Can you, I can see that your telescope is right next to you. And just show me how to use it. Demonstrate it for me.
It's how you go up and down, and this is left and right. So the video is here. I use my iPad to capture. We zoom in and we look at the photos or videos. See, like this. We zoom in and
Is that the moon? Or is that the photographs of the moon on your wall? I can't tell.
you see.
Yeah, I can see. That's so cool. So how does that work?
So we bought a holder for the phone.
Yeah.
And then the holder is attached to the lens. So the camera is at the lens here, so you can see the lens.
So you get a more magnified view of the surface. Well, that's so interesting. And how much time do you spend doing this every day?
Usually we go to about like 1 or 2 hours, or 2 or 3 hours like that. We do it.
And do you do it from your house or do you go somewhere?
The 14th floor, at the balcony, and outside at the corridor.
What do your mum and dad do to help you with your space exploration?
My papa will help me find the moon so I can capture all the structures and the architecture.
Oh wow, the architecture of the moon. Can you show me some images of the architecture of the moon? Oh wow, so can you explain to me what that is and what you can see?
Oh, I can see a shape here.
You tell that to her.
I can see a shape here.
Yeah? What is it? What is that shape?
I can say it looks like a fish.
Let's see. So bring it closer to the screen. Okay, wow. That is a very interesting shape. And is that the moon?
Yes, it's the moon.
Show us some more images on your iPad of what you managed to capture, or even any videos. I'd love to see them.
This one I can see like a V here.
Yeah, I see the V as well. Oh wow. And it looks like there's a person with a face and brown hair on top of the...
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yes, here.
Yeah,
Over there.
yeah. So these dark spots on the moon, have you been able to understand what they are?
See?
Yes. It's really, really beautiful. So,
Sorry?
what could they be?
It looks like somebody mined in. You see this one? It looks like it's mined. Somebody mined it. They mined the moon.
But who would mine the moon right now? That's because we don't have anyone on the moon right now.
Space.
Huh?
It could be an astronaut or somebody who went to space.
Why do you think they'll be mining the moon? Because that's something companies are developing right now.
They could be looking for gold there. I mean, the gold comes from the moon. So,
Does it?
yeah, of course it does.
I didn't know that. What other...
Gold comes from space.
Gold comes
comes
from
from
space.
space.
You see that this thing?
Yeah. Almost looks like an X-ray of a spine.
Yeah, I know.
Or an animal if you put it the other way around, like some kind of moon giraffe. And so have you managed to send your photography and footage to any of the space organizations, and what did they say?
And NASA congratulated us at the Gold Award win.
And so what did you win?
So this is from CNEX 2020.
Mm-hmm.
From CNEX 2020. And this is the first one from Canada, a big one.
Uh-huh.
The second one is the bronze one. It's this one. This one.
Mm-hmm. Are all of these medals for the same idea that you had?
Yes. Yes, they are. And this is the one, the third one.
Oh wow. I think you have more medals than me. What can other children do to get interested in space?
Just recently, the Ministry of Tourism Malaysia and National Library sent us a letter, and they want to showcase our space and lunar photography in Malaysia on the 10th floor at the Malaysia National Library.
Oh,
I would like the kids at my age and their parents to join me and share their space stuff too. Because of the coronavirus, the exhibition date will be informed at a date later.
how do you feel about showing your work in an exhibition to the world?
I'm very excited because everybody can learn and come and look at space with me. So that's why I want to share it with everybody.
ARAV's dad, Anna Malai, has been helping him with space exploration through photography. Now, one interesting thing that he just told me was that they've discovered structures on the moon that they believe are very new. So I want to know more about this. The footage that you've sent me of the lunar surface is the first that you've ever seen in any public domain. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. You see, what has happened is we've just discovered in all the public books, school books, journals, and TV and media, they've been showing a moon surface which basically looks like a barren desert. And what ARAV and I have discovered through our lens, there's so much landscape and architecture on the lunar surface that's yet to be explored. And we've captured marvelous footage, of the actual moon that nobody has heard of,
Because the books only shows empty because it's only for learning, but ours are real.
So why do you think that is?
I think perhaps. Do you want an honest answer from me?
Yeah.
Okay, from what I've seen and along with ARAV and what we've captured, I think somebody is mining the moon, and the architecture is very clear about this, and it's quite evident. You can't hide it anymore. We've captured close to 3,000 to 4,000 hours of video in the past 2-3 years, and there's things moving, and there's structures that look like actual architecture, geometrical in shape. And,
Do you think they were constructed by people?
I have no idea about this. I can't answer for sure because I don't know the answer, but I know things are moving. We've seen blocks move, fall off, have been shifted, and we've monitored certain zones on the moon. And it's very important that kids know about this, but so far it's not been revealed in the books or in school books or in public books. And I'm also confused how I'm going to bring up my 8-year-old son now, because the school books are showing everything in blank, while the our photography and our captured through our lens are showing architecture. So I'm in a dilemma actually.
Have you managed to capture any of these structures that you can maybe show us? No, it's
This
not.
was captured off the surface at a crater. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
You can see symmetrical shape, geometrical shape just around the crater zone. So this was one of the clearest footage we've captured.
So you don't think that's any part of the moon?
Well, it is part of the moon, but we see clear straight cut shapes surrounding a crater. So we've monitored similar shapes in many craters.
Can you show us any more? So
Sure.
interesting.
You will see structures going right into the crater, 2 joining craters, and you will see object from the top, architecture flowing down. So we can't say for sure what it is, but the architecture is there. It is very clear. And then we can capture cliffs, and around the cliff you will see tall structures.
Oh wow.
So everywhere there is architecture. See, there's a tall pillar, something like a obelisk
Yeah, an obelisk.
at the crater edge. So there are things like this that we've captured all over the moon. It's just not one, but we've captured thousands.
What do you think these structures are?
I don't think they are remnants of something from the past. I think there's something still active there. Probably there's another civilization that has not been revealed to us. And the books have been quite clear. They've been hiding everything. That's what I feel. That's my
When you
take on it.
say another civilization, would you say a human civilization?
Perhaps, maybe a human civilization. Perhaps they are our neighbors, or maybe they are something else which I don't yet know. But all I know that some of the stuff that ARAV and I have captured, they have invisible capabilities. They whisk through the screen at high speeds, and they are invisible.
What do you mean they're invisible? Like, explain that to me.
They have, like we've seen this bright glow at the moon region. When we focus into it and it's moving towards the moon, it's not an object, it's light. It's like a light source, and it's moving towards the moon. It doesn't follow any of the other planets or any of the other stars. It's just going towards the moon, and it's touching the moon surface. So it's these kind of anomalies that we've captured. Find it quite interesting. And the same thing that we've captured at the sun, long beams would just appear and disappear. And we've captured it on satellite as well as film. So when we've reported this to the International Astronomical Union, and they say it's a well-known phenomena. If you do a comparison of all the books on the bookshelves and bookshops in schools, you do a comparison of photos with our photography, they would be worlds apart. So the bookshops will be showing a blank and barren desert on the moon. That's what's been happening, and it's been published for the past 30, 40 years. It's quite evident, we can't hide it anymore. So, but the photography now reveals everything. So we get kids like ARAV's age now to use their gadgets with high magnification, and they get to zoom in straight into the moon surface very quickly, with a combination of equipment.
Can you please tell me about George H. Lennon's discovery in comparison to yours?
Right. You see, George H. Lennon, he was a writer, and he was into this space thing. So what he did back in the 1970s, he walked into NASA. He communicated with many of the scientists there. He took out several thousand or several hundred of photographs, and he wrote a book about it. Somebody else is on the moon, and it's even on Amazon. Anybody can buy that. And our work now corroborates his discovery back in 1976, where he reports of another civilization, equipments and structures all over the moon. And today, we've captured live feed, live photography of things moving around the moon, architecture, structures, which are still active. And it's quite clear what's happening because our footage clearly amplifies that. What he captured or what he discovered in 1976 through NASA's photographs.
Amazing. That's just mind-blowing. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. How can people get in touch with you if they wanted to, and how can they subscribe to your work?
Friends from all over the globe can contact me at Instagram Sun Saucer, Facebook Sun Saucer, or just search for us on YouTube under the name of ARAV and Anomalai.
Well, that was the most enlightening piece of the day. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, your time, your expertise, and your passion with me today. I really appreciate it, and I wish you both a beautiful day and keep exploring space and keep discovering.
Thank you for having me.